Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our dear sisters. Strange things do happen in this world. The message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? My brother, I am a married woman and I am staying here in South Africa with my husband, but I come from Zim. So me and my husband, we met here in South Africa. This was after a very long struggle because I had been searching for a man who will be willing to stay with me at least for a very long time. Previously, I had gotten involved with a lot of guys, but most of the guys that wanted to marry me, they said, can you at least have a child for me first, then I'll be able to get married to you. But I can't conceive, Brother Nashi. I had almost given up until I met this man that I am staying with. He's a wonderful man. He loves me with all of his heart. He's like my shield. He is my protector. When I started staying with him, his family was excited. But when they found out that I was not conceiving, then that excitement, it all disappeared. It vanished. It went away. But still, he was my protector. Whenever his relatives will insult me, whenever they would ask me if I was only there to show their brother's money, just to spend his money without giving him a child, he would step in and he would be my shield. So I loved him for that and I love him for that. We tried by all means that we could so that I can conceive, but we totally failed until my husband said, it is fine. I can see that we have failed to have a child together. Maybe this is the will of God. So let us not fight against the will of God. My husband is like that. What he cares the most is about the relationship that is there between us, our love that we share together. That is all that matters to him. But as for his relatives, they kept on giving me a lot of pressure. And as a woman, even if your husband tells you that he loves you with all of his heart, the moment that the relatives start to fight with you, you do not feel comfortable at all. I kept on thinking that I was going to lose my husband, even though he promised me that he would never leave me for another woman. So there was this other particular time when I wanted to go back home so that I can go to this other traditional healer, and so that that traditional healer can give me some herbs whereby I can use those herbs to conceive. I spoke with my husband about this issue and he said, it is fine, since you insist, since you say that you want to go and get these herbs that can actually help you to conceive, I will let you go to Zim. So I then traveled from Zim, I then traveled from South Africa and I came to Zim. I went to that traditional healer's place. When I went to that traditional healer, he promised me that the charms that he was about to give me, those charms, they do not hurt anyone and they will never require a blood sacrifice for me, and they would never results in anyone dying. But the situation that I am facing, Brother Nashi, the child that I used as a sacrifice to turn the will of God in my favor, that child is sick. The best example that I can give you, like when a cow has eaten grass that is mixed with plastics, that cow, it will start to have digestive problems, then it will get so thin until it dies. This child, Brother Nashi, that I gave these herbs that I was given by that traditional healer, this child is getting thinner and thinner by the day. He is having troubles digesting and he no longer wants to drink the mother's milk. And I do not know if I should confess to this woman that this is what I did. Maybe if I confess to her, this child is not going to die. But at the same time, I'm still holding on to what this traditional healer told me. For the traditional healer told me that I should not worry even if this child will get so sick. It is just a matter of time. He is going to be okay. And if I am going to be patient, then I will be able to force God to change his will. Because when I was with that traditional healer in his consultation room, he said, look, my child, I have looked at you in the spiritual realm, and what I have seen is that God, when he created you, he placed a curse on you. Yes, God cursed you, and he said that in your life you will never have the joy of having a child. You will never conceive in your life, for this is the curse that was placed upon your head when God created you. I was really hurt as to why God will place such a painful curse upon my life. But this traditional healer said, worry not, my child, for here you are in a place where you will be able to turn the will of God so that we can force God to change his will. And the way that he was going to force God to change his will, he asked me if I had access to any newborn baby, any baby that was not yet able to speak. And I said, indeed, yes. In South Africa, there is this other woman who is also from Zim. So she also has a child who is still learning to walk, and the child does not talk yet. So I said, yes, I have access to such a child that you want. And the traditional healer said, well, if it is like that, it is going to be easy. The traditional healer then gave me some charms. These charms that he gave me, they are in form of a yellow powder. I don't know what kind of roots that they used to get these powdered charms. He gave me, and he placed it inside a small container, and he said that what I was supposed to do is that upon my arrival I had to gain access to this baby so that I can feed this baby. He said, you will just take a pinch of this powdered charm that I have given you and sprinkle it in a glass of water and give this baby the water to drink. And after that, if you ever get a chance to feed this baby, I want you to also take a handful of these powdered charms and mix it with the porridge that you will be giving to this baby. And I knew that it was going to be very, very easy, because this woman, she's like a friend to me, and she trusts me with all of her heart. When I returned back to South Africa, I also brought some stuff for this woman, like I always did when I would have traveled to Zim. So there was this other day, because at the place where we are renting, each and everyone has his or her own smart meter in their own room. So she said that her electricity had finished, and she left the child with me. So I took a glass of water, then I placed those charms in the glass of water, and I gave this baby the herbs that were going to force God to change his will on me. And after that, when the mom told me to make some Cerelac for this child, I took the Cerelac and I said, let me do it in my room. Whilst I was there, I then quickly mixed the Cerelac with hot water as well as those powdered charms, and I said to that woman, give me your baby so that I can feed your baby. And that is how I fed this child with all of those charms. After I had finished that small container that had the yellowish charms, and I expected to fall pregnant, but ever since I did all of this evil stuff, I still can't conceive. And now this child is really sick. If you were to look at this child, you will actually feel very sorry for this child, because the child is getting thinner and thinner by the day. The child does not cry anymore. Sometimes it refuses to drink its own mother's milk, and I am scared that maybe this child is going to die. But at the same time, because I want to conceive, I am still trying to be patient, but at the same time, I am really scared, Brother Nashi. I don't know what I should do. Should I confess to this woman that this is what I did, and I did all of these things simply because I wanted to conceive? Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by our dear sister. Strange things do happen in this world.